Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mind Tea, a podcast where we discuss sip sized, practical tools for meaningful living. I'm your host, Izzy Wan, a mindfulness teacher, tea ceremony host, hypnotherapist, and speaker. Today, I want to talk to you about the 2 daily wins that you're probably missing in your own life. You've probably heard of the 3 wins a day: a physical win like stretching, walking, or working out, a mental win such as learning, reading, or reflecting, and a spiritual win like meditation, prayer, or journaling. And these 3 have become the standard pillars of self care: body, mind, and spirit. But I believe that we're missing 2 more that no one actually really talks about and that are especially important in our modern day world. And I've been thinking about these a lot recently with my social media feeds completely filled with AI. Don't know if you guys can relate. And my phone screen time is going up significantly as well. So that's what we're going to talk about today: the 2 daily wins that you're probably missing in your own life. Are you ready for it? Let's start with the first one, number 1. The first daily win that you're probably missing is a creative win. When I talk about creativity, most people are going to immediately think of art, painting, or design. But creativity isn't limited to artists alone. It's the instinct to explore, to play, to imagine, and to create something new. It's an innate human quality and the brain's way of exploring, of expressing, and adapting. From an evolutionary perspective, creativity is what allowed us to survive. As the humans who thought, what do I do with this stick? Maybe I can just throw it here, there, and okay, that's kind of sick. And that's the reason why we're here today, right? So creativity is not a luxury. It's actually hardwired into our biology. In today's world, however, creativity has been quietly replaced by productivity. And the irony is that creativity actually helps us to build productivity. A 2010 study by Stuckey and Noble found that even small acts of creativity, whether it's drawing, writing, or dancing, improve our problem solving, our mood, and our emotional resilience. When you're being creative, your brain lights up across multiple regions at once: emotional, logical, and sensory areas, creating these powerful states of integration. It's like when you're in the state of flow, that feeling when time disappears and you're just completely in the moment. That's your brain in full harmony. Think about it. When was the last time you made something just for fun? No goal, no productivity hack, and no audience watching. Most of us don't give ourselves that space anymore, right? I personally find that I'm able to access the state of flow most consistently and also the easiest when I am creating, no matter what it is. If creativity was essential before, it's even more essential now. We live in an age where AI can write, draw, and even compose music for us. I was watching the Diary of a CEO episode on this, the AI one, where the brain experts debated how AI is potentially going to increase our risk of dementia. Research shows that when we outsource our thinking and our imagination too often, our brain's creative pathways, especially the prefrontal cortex, becomes less active. It's like any muscle. The less we use it, the weaker it gets. So it's even more important now and in the future to nurture this creativity. And you're probably thinking, I'm not creative, or I don't know what to make, or what's the point of all I can draw is a potato? And this belief is actually a misunderstanding. Creativity isn't about talent or outputs. It's about engagement and it's about play. As adults, we lose our touch of our inner selves and we become consumed by the external noise. So we replace play with performance. We start judging before we even begin. But children don't think like that. They don't ask if their drawings are good enough. They draw because it feels good. They build sandcastles knowing the tide's going to wash them away, but it doesn't matter. They fall in love with the process of the building. And that is pure creative flow. So the next time you feel like you're not creative, remember, the goal isn't to make something impressive. The goal is to awaken that playful, joyous, curious parts of your brain again. Doodle without meaning, even if it still looks like a potato, and dance without knowing how to dance, and try a new recipe without following the instructions exactly. Creativity isn't about aesthetics, it's about the experience. It begins the moment we stop trying to be good at it. Instead of asking, what should I make? Ask yourself, what would feel fun to make right now? When we play, we let go of our need to control and we open up to curiosity. And then we reconnect with something even deeper. This part of us that's alive, that's imaginative, that's free. And now the second missing win in your life is the connection win. Humans are social beings. We are wired to connect. And I know what you're thinking, my introverts, but yes, even you too. You just need connection with a side of peace and quiet. You can see it in babies and animals. They seek eye contact, warmth, presence, and touch, and that need never goes away. As adults, we seek to know, are we seen? Are we heard? Are we held? Are we understood? Are we loved? I think these needs are even more obvious in our world today, where we've never been more connected through technology, yet our rates of loneliness are higher than ever. And the World Health Organization has said that about 1 in 6 people worldwide experience loneliness. In the UK as well, a 2024 study showed that nearly 70% of Gen Z and millennials report feeling lonely. High-quality social connections are essential to our mental and physical health as well as our well-being. The longest-running happiness study at Harvard found that the number one predictor of lifelong well-being isn't wealth or success. It's the quality of your relationships. So what actually happens when we experience loneliness? Why does it drive us so crazy? And what happens is that our brains literally interpret loneliness as this form of danger. The same regions that process this physical pain also process social rejection. And this is why loneliness hurts so much, because the brain interprets loneliness as a survival threat. Studies show that even just 10 days of isolation can trigger depressive symptoms and disrupt our emotional regulation. Connection doesn't have to mean constant socializing or deep conversation with everyone around you. It's simply about presence. It's what I call micro connections, things like smiling at one another, a moment of active listening, a short message of appreciation just to tell someone that you're thinking of them, or better yet, put your phone away altogether and just tell them in person. It's these small, consistent gestures that we can continue to do every day. In neuroscience terms, social connection increases our oxytocin, the bonding hormone that fosters trust and reduces anxiety. It also enhances our serotonin production, supporting our emotional stability. And this is why you often feel lighter or more grounded after a meaningful chat, maybe a deep conversation with the girls, or maybe something as simple as just going for a game with the boys. Do you ever think, wow, I feel so much lighter after hanging out with that person, or that feels so much better after just speaking, even though it doesn't change what happened, even just speaking to this person about certain things, even just ranting to them, feels so much better, right? That's because when we connect authentically, even if it's just for a brief moment, our entire physiology shifts towards balance. Now, not everyone needs the same dosage of social connection. Introverts, again, you may feel nourished by solitude, punctuated with quality interactions, while extroverts may crave more frequent engagement. It's not about the quantity, it's about making space for connection. And also something I've been reflecting on lately, especially as someone who works in the well-being space, is that there's this shadow side to self-improvement and coaching, and it's this constant chase for the next milestone, the next level, this next version of yourself, so that even personal growth becomes a performance, a race to be more. In coaching, a space meant for healing and awareness, I feel like we've turned progress into this competition. It's like if your morning routine doesn't include journaling, breathwork, ice baths, cryotherapy, matcha, Pilates, and then a TED Talk as well by 7 p.m., It's like, are you even trying? And I think that's why so many coaches and high achievers burn out, because everything slowly becomes about achievement, even healing. We've confused becoming better with becoming busier. Now, I've witnessed so many people close to me, myself included, who have this treadmill of trying to be more to be busier. And I feel that's the shadow side of modern growth culture, is that we've mistaken self-actualization for self-acceleration. That's why I've been drawn to mindfulness as someone who has always been fixated on achieving in the past as well. I felt like my entire self-worth was defined oftentimes on how much I achieved. At school, this came in wanting to get the best grades and always looking at what my mark was for certain things. And then coming out of school, I was still again looking for what I could achieve in each job, how much responsibility I was given in each role I was in. So I've always been very fixated on doing, on achieving. And so mindfulness showed me this different approach. It's not about human doing, it's about human being. And mindfulness teaching blends awareness with accountability rather than fixating on outputs. When we teach mindfulness programs, half of it is done through meditations, which is what we call formal practice. It helps us to build that muscle of being present. And the other half is done through daily activities like mindful walking or mindful movements, mindful eating, things that basically help us to incorporate the practice of mindfulness into our daily lives. Mindfulness is about learning to pause, to listen, to live more intentionally, the key word being intentionally rather than faster. And that's where I feel our creativity and connection come in. Creativity reintroduces play and serendipity into our overly structured lives. And then we have connection, which roots us back into love and belonging. Both of them pull us back from the edge of doing into the fullness of being. So, what would that look like in your day? It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. Creativity might be one doodle a day, and it might be putting on a concert while you're showering. Or it might be interpretive dancing like all these crazy TikToks out there now. And then connection might be asking your waitress, how have you been today? I do this every time I'm at a restaurant. The first thing I ask the host or server is, how have you been today? And immediately humanizes the interaction. You can see it on their faces. They instantly soften up a bit. Because so little people are genuinely interested in one another these days, so that even asking a simple question like that can break people out of their funk and out of their routine and creates this small micro connection between the both of you. So it can be that, or something similar, like letting a friend know that listening to this podcast made you think of them, or even replying to someone else's comment on this video or someone else's video, doesn't matter. Make friends, guys. Micro connections can be simple, but so powerful. So today, instead of asking yourself, what did I accomplish? Ask yourself, what did I express? Who did I connect with? What made me feel alive today? So that's the full picture today. And to summarize our episode, the 5 wins we talked about that can help to enhance your well-being: the physical win that strengthens your body, the mental win that sharpens your mind, the spiritual win that grounds your soul, and then the 2 others we added today, which is the creative win, which wakes up your inner child, and then the connection win that reminds you that you're not alone in this human experience. Alright, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for being here. And if any of these resonated with you today, let me know what actions you're going to take towards your creative and connection wins. If you took any value from this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could do me a favor and take a moment to hit the subscribe button and rate the show, or share it with someone you love so more people can benefit from mindfulness. Until next time, keep steeping in wisdom and don't forget to take a moment for yourself today, even if it's just 5 minutes.